Hello Internet, my name is Zephyr, and welcome to Quick Review. It's been a while since I made one of these, and this episode I have a very special treat because we are taking a trip down memory lane. That's because I'm going to be taking a look at the original 2007 Deluxe Class Concept Camaro Bumblebee. It's kinda crazy to think that there are a lot of newer Transformers fans who never got to experience this original mold because they were too young to remember the Bayverse. Meanwhile, a lot of older fans, such as myself who grew up with Bayverse and Bayverse was their G1, this Bumblebee was the best Bumblebee that you were going to get for a very long time. Apart from nostalgia, the reason why I sought this figure out and wanted to get my hands on this mold again was because of A, how simplistic it is to handle and transform, how fun it is, but also the vehicle mode just looks better than the Studio Series in my opinion. The shades of yellow that they used on this original figure look more accurate to the movie versus the ugly pale yellow that they stick on every Bumblebee nowadays. Spinning the vehicle mode around so you can get a better look at the details, they really put a whole lot of effort into this figure, not just in the vehicle mode, though you could tell that they did put a lot of focus in the vehicle mode, but also the robot mode, and you'll see that in just a little bit. One annoying thing about my copy is that it has this one wheel that refuses to touch the ground no matter what I do, despite buying this figure sealed. Getting into vehicle mode size comparisons, here I have them next to a more recent Deluxe Class figure. This is Bone Crusher from the 86th line. So despite this not scaling at all, that's one thing I miss about these older Deluxe Class toys, is that for 10 bucks, you got a pretty good sized toy. Because there's no way that a Camaro should be bigger than a bulldozer. Getting into transformation now, and for the first time for a quick review, I'm actually not going to speed up the transformation. That's because the transformation for this guy is not only very satisfying and enjoyable, but it actually has a really cool step in a transformation that they don't really do nowadays. And that's because if we come to the back of the car and split the legs in half, and then we move the little shin armor up into place, there is a little bit of automorph. If we take the foot and we extend it out slowly, you'll see that the entire back of the car will make its way up onto the back of the shin, and the back windshield will flip onto the side, automorphing into place. It's such a cool gimmick that they don't really do with Transformers nowadays, and it's something that I kinda wish that they would bring back. So now that he is fully transformed into robot mode, let's go ahead and spin him around because he is actually really accurate for something that came out way back in 2007. These were the first times that they were adapting live action designs into toys, and Bumblebee here translates really well. Just by looking at this figure, it's easy to tell why they milked this mold for so long, only tweaking it by changing vehicle mode parts. Speaking of parts, I purposely popped these shoulder pieces off and glued them back into place so that way they never pop off because they always seem to be the first things you lose on this figure. Also, even though I had the correct transformation for the chest, every single promo image for the figure displays it like this, which I find very interesting. Also, another neat little detail in his robot mode is his license plate. His license plate is on his crotch where it should be in robot mode, however, if you spin it to the back of the car, it is not there. And one final detail is that if we bring it in for a close-up, this is actually the concept art head. This is not the finished design head. This figure came with one weapon in the form of his iconic Ion Blaster, which is really huge, but it also can split into a sword, just like in the video game, And I feel like the reason they did this was so that way they could tie it into the video game. And just because it's an OG Deluxe does not mean that it is slouching in the articulation department. He has a full range of movement in the head. He has kind of limited movement in the arms, but if you finagle it and finesse them enough, you can still get pretty good articulation out of his arms. And even though the articulation is kind of tricky, they do still have a full 360 range of rotation in the shoulder. He does also have a full waist rotation, allowing him to have an ab crunch and really good waist rotation. Moving down to the legs, he has a full forwards and backwards kick, and he can do the splits. He's got a bend at the knee, and he could point his toes forwards. However, this was during the time of no ankle pivot. Another cool little thing that you can do is you can adjust his door wings. So if you don't like the way they look, you can move them down, or if you want them to sit higher, you can do that. But now moving on to robot mode size comparisons, and this is exactly what I mean by older Deluxe class figures being pretty dang big, because he is a little bit taller than Bone Crusher. But this has been my review on the original 2007 Deluxe class concept Camaro Bumblebee. I hope you guys enjoyed this little trip down memory lane, and if you did not grow up with the Bayverse, then I hope that this inspires you to maybe get one, because this mold is really awesome. But I sincerely hope you guys enjoyed this video, as I had a lot of fun making it. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel, as it greatly helps out. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one.